Hey, I am back. It's another baseball video. There have been a couple of not big signings, so I'm gonna lump them all together in one video because they're not huge, but you know, nonetheless. So first up, we have. Hold on, we got Avisail Garcia signs a 2-year, $20 million deal with the Milwaukee Brewers. So, this is an interesting deal because the Brewers have been, well, so I had discussed in another video about the rumor of them signing Avisail Garcia. And, I thought he was a very good complementary piece for them, like, sort of, and that they could, this could be the piece that they need to start competing with the Cardinals. And I still think that, I mean, he just they got Keon Broxton back actually, which I think could be a nice fourth outfielder if they give him a chance. They traded for Luis Arias. I mean, this is pretty much similar to what I said before. I don't think anything was changed. If you haven't watched that video, go watch it. I said a little bit more in there, and I mean, I think my feelings still stand. So, and also the Josh Lindblom signing is final. So now he slots into their rotation, and Freddie Peralta becomes their sixth starter. So it just made their rotation deeper. We'll see if Josh Lindblom can make the transfer from. I think he was in Japan over to the majors. We'll see how that goes. But so next up, the Yankees signed Adam Warren to a 2-year minors deal with an August 28th opt-out. So he's recovering from Tommy John. And so that's why, the opt-out is so late in the season. Usually opt-outs are like right after spring training, maybe at the end of April or at the end of May, depending on, who the player is. So I would think, I think it all depends on when he comes back and how he pitches. I like Adam Warren. I always liked him when he was on the Yankees. He was a very good, versatile pitcher. He could pitch out of the bullpen. He could pitch for 1 inning. He could pitch for 3 innings. He could spot start when you needed him to. And I think this is a win-win deal. He can make up to, I think it was $1.5 million a season with incentives. his base pays $800,000 if he's at the major league level, so it's not a big investment, and maybe he can capture some of that mojo, if you will. So next up, the Pirates sign Luke Miley. So, I mean, he's a backup catcher. What else you want? He's fine. He had a good offensive year in 2018. Not great, but just fine. He's not an offensive catcher. Which is traditionally what backup catchers were. They were more defensive minded, and so I mean, for a team like the Pirates that's not in contention and they're just sort of in rebuild mode, kind of, sort of, whatever. So next up, the Astros have re-signed Joe Smith to a 2-year, $8 million deal. Now, when he was injured early on in the season, but when he came back, he pitched really well. So I think for $4 million a season, that's a pretty good deal, given what a lot of relievers are going for now. And, I think we'll see. I like the deal. I think he's a little older. He's in his mid-30s, so he could break down, but at $4 million a season, it's not really going to hurt you. So it's fine. And next up, the Reds signed Wade Miley. So they signed him to a 2-year, $15 million deal with a club option. Now, at one point, there were a couple of seasons where Wade Miley was really good. But, so let's see, when was, he was, actually in 2018, he was really good. And, and then he's had some good seasons with the Diamondbacks in 2012 and 2013. Last year, he was what you'd expect of like a back-end starter. And on the Reds, that's what he'll be. I mean, their pitching staff right now is Trevor Bauer, Luis Castillo, Sonny Gray, Anthony DeSclafani, and then Wade Miley. Wade Miley will be most likely their fifth starter. And, I mean, Trevor Bauer has been really good with the Indians. And then he came over to the Reds last season, wasn't, at the trade deadline, in a trade where people really didn't understand it. But, they saw an opportunity and they took it. And he sort of took a step back. Now, the ballpark in Cincinnati is a hitter's ballpark, so maybe it's just him needing to adjust. Castillo looks to be really good. Sonny Gray, who the Reds bought low from the Yankees, did really good. Looked like, the years that he was really good in Oakland. And Desclafani's a nice pitcher with upside. He's never really lived up to the potential. He has shown signs. So, it rounds out the rotation. They signed Mike Moustakas earlier. And, I really like the deal. They have a good lineup right now. I guess the big thing would be if Nick Senzel is healthy for, most of the year, which probably will be. But I think, maybe with this signing, they have a pretty good offense. One of the questions will be, is Aristides Aquino the real deal? Because, can Jesse Winker take another step forward? They have Suarez. Suarez is one of the best third basemen in the game. So, and then they have Joey Votto. Votto's Votto. He's getting a little older, so he's not as good as he once was, but he's still really good. So I think they could also be competing with the Brewers and the Cardinals. We'll see. But the last one is the Twins signed Sergio Romo to a 1-year, $5 million deal. And, Sergio Romo is he had a bunch of really good years as a reliever, but he's getting up there in age. He wasn't great last season for a reliever. He had a 3.43 ERA. His strikeouts are below 9 per inning now. But if he could, I guess, maintain what he did last season for $5 million, that's pretty good. In this day and age of the bullpen, you need to have a deep bullpen, and I think Romo could be a deep, like one of the, you shouldn't rely on a guy like Romo at this point of his career. But if he's like your fifth guy in the bullpen, fourth or fifth guy in the bullpen, that's pretty good. And I think the Twins are building towards that. So we'll see. But anyway, that wraps up the signings from today. And I'll see you guys next time. And don't forget to like the video below. I think I forgot to mention that at the beginning. Oh well. Like the video below, subscribe to the channel, and comment. Give me your thoughts on the deals. whether you think they're good deals. Do you like the Adam Warren deal? Do you think Avisail Garcia could be, the final Brewers piece that they need to compete? Or do you think maybe losing Yasmani Grandal was a little too much and they haven't really, and they lost, they lost Mike Moustakas too. So do you think maybe that's a little too much to lose, or do you think they'll be back in it competing for the NL Central? Who knows? But yeah, so let me know what you think. And that's all, guys. I will see you next time. Bye.